All right, so let's have a quick look here where Mr. Gary North fences Ken Nunn, and before that, he had a pretty good bout against Ge Yilu from Taipei, who trains in France actually. And then yeah, I just want to show right, just because no, it's not that Gary North isn't the biggest name or anything, but everyone has a chance, and he gives Ken Nunn quite a run for his money. And I would argue, a bit of a brain fart slash lack of experience is kind of what lost him this bout here. And just the unfortunate part for Gary is that, right, to get back to this moment, we have to make it through day one and then win our first DE. But let's have a look. I think he had a fantastic bout, and he has a lot to be proud of. And I'm actually, granted I'm Canadian, I'm looking forward to seeing more of the U.S. fencers because I think there's an insane amount of talent in the U.S., but we just overlook them because they're not. It's not always people winning knacks, whatever. They're not all winning World Cups, what have you. Even though recently, right, we've had quite a rise with Ramirez and Imrek each medaling. So let's see. All right, so Gary, I don't think I fenced him, but right, he's definitely more like of a tanky fencer, tank style. But he makes some really good decisions, and Ken Nunn obviously is like kind of a bee sting, constantly threatening with the tip. Big respect to the distance here. Ooh. So here is, in my opinion, this is nerve settling in, right? He gets the parry, but then he's a little nervous. Wait, no, it hits him, and then he doesn't quite get his tip on. Boom, and pulls himself back a bit, misses with a little. I will say, Ken Nunn has been, I mean, relative to like he's like since Worlds anyway, he's been committed pretty hard, and he's getting a lot more mask bumps than he used to. Let's speed it up until the next hit. So that was a fantastic read. So let's back it up. So right here, boom, right, big step in, right, big step. Gary fears the attack. This is a deadly close. Leave the distance. Excuse me, allergy season. And then Ken Nunn doesn't big distance close by Gary. Nice 8. Sticks the riposte. So right there, grabs his confidence back. Right, sometimes the parry can be massive. That's normal. But look how quickly he gets his tip back on. Not easy to do, especially on someone who gives you as much pressure as Ken Nunn would. Let's speed it up again. So good double. I would say here, this is where this one's really hard because Ken Nunn really gives you that pull back, but the distance is really good. Like he's very good on, like he knows that he can potentially single. Ken Nunn is so light on that tip. So good double, good commitment from Gary, but I feel like this lunge is a little lackluster, but who am I to judge too harshly? I definitely don't have the best lunge around. So pretty respectful on distance. It looks like Gary really likes 8. Really made up his mind, right? This is scary. And just gets out. Ooh. I don't want to say lucky, but so on the look. Oh, this is man. I want to say even like parried himself, but he didn't. That was just so fast. And Kenan is one of the lightest tips around. Having fenced him, just man, just when he hits, his distance is so good. Right on the step. So there, Gary, he got caught a little. Mr. North gets caught looking a little too wide on the blade. Fantastic read. So he takes his time. And this is a big French thing, right? They want to attack you on that step, and if they feel it, they take it. But the reaction is pretty good by the North. Very stable and very decisive fencing. Ooh. See, like, that wasn't like... It's not a jab just to anyone, but just like, if he picks your moments well, you don't need like the most insane lunge ever. It's a lunge. It's a small lunge, but man, he picks his moment and forces a miss by Kenan. Just goes in, slight opposition. Fantastic hit. Let's go back and look at that. This is a hit I struggle with. Like, he just goes from low to low, but Gary really respects it, and yeah, he really gets his tip on target there. But funny enough, he's worried about the counter after. I say he's also rocking Asa shoes, so good man. Oh. So, tutu. So like he kind of loses his turn, and flesh, parry. So we get it in, but oof, we're kind of giving our friend a little hug without context. This is a little awkward. Let's even snip that just for future use. And then he gives, let's see if the card is given. Really? Would you guys give a card for that? That's kind of tough to say. Like, the hit happens before, but like it's not like there was that much, right? There was that much effort in stopping, right? There's basically a, for lack of a better word, a little bit of head-to-head. Kenan's forcing the fencing until the last second. Ooh. And look at that, like, someone's very strong on the parries. This is really, like, a lot of changing the lines. Distract them. 1, 2, never stopping. Oh, Kenan actually thought he hit. So 1 minute break. Let's see how they adapt. I would imagine Kenan might have saw something where when he's distracting a bit more, he's able to find his target a little bit better. Let's see what Mr. North does. Definitely more on the forward by North. I like that. And then just... And that's the one thing to call out Kenan. You don't want to call out... You need to call out before the pump happens. At least you can get a double. If you try to call it out as it happens, you're already too late. It's on Kenan's timing. Ooh. Fantastic. Really takes his time. Waits for the real one. This is interesting. This is why I think there's a slight flaw. Like, just Kenan's so wide on his leg but he can't quite be explosive enough at this distance. Like, just fantastic riposte. Well done. So Gary North really respecting the distance. Well done by him. Ooh. Oh man, he just gets that, and that's what I mean. Kenan knows his tip. Like, his tip is so light. Nicks him on the mask. And what was the cue? Gary preps. Kenan was already waiting for it. As soon as let's look at the legs. So here, look at that. The decision was already made. Mid-air, Kenan already made the decision that he was going. So, decision making on point, as it were. Well done. Oops. Okay, so this is the danger of the drawer pull, right? You open the drawer, you close the drawer. If someone reads it properly, whoo, you look silly. Like here, so Kenan does signature right. He goes in, shows a line, assumes there's going to be a parry, and like you just flagpole into that, and you look silly. Two people look silly, but only one of them gets the point. We'll see later. Kenan gets this point again. He does a little bit better. Oh my god. That was just murderous. So you have to look at that how Kenan forces. Oh man. Like, you just can't stand still for too long. I really like Gary's demeanor. Very respectful. Perhaps too much. Do we think too much? Or is there no such thing? Beautiful parry in the background. So, Kenan's looking for a moment. He's thinking of the re-entry. And the last one, like, to be fair, he had barely gotten it. This time, Kenan doesn't get it. And admittedly, instead of parry, this is just right a nice remise. So there's a yellow for Kenan. Realistically, right, should the yellow had been given for this one? Right? Should this be a red? Should this be 9-7? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe in another universe. Ooh. So good read again. Really close, but watch how Kenan stops his foot. He's baiting it, but good commitment by Gary. Well done. You can, I need to reinforce, like, you cannot, and I mean you cannot hesitate against Kenan. If you make a choice, commit to it. At least if you don't get it, you know why? Because if you get stuck halfway, you're going to get hit, and you're not going to have an idea of whether your idea was good or not. So this one worked much better. And the commitment was, and Gary was not ready for it, right? The decision was made here, and then Gary was just, oh god. Big parry, and then we just finish, right? We just basically go in, we take it away, and then we go. But the decision has to be made as soon as you start. And that, we make it look way smoother, right? So now, it's 1-1 on the silly meter. Good decision making, both ways. So here, right, Kenan's trying to catch Gary on, but really good tip. He's trying to catch Gary after he tries something right away. So far, right, look at that. Mr. North, toe-to-toe with the Olympic champion and the guy who's about to win the whole tournament. There's a lot of fantastic fencers in the USA. Oh, so that's the one. Right, so, as I said, right, the earlier ones, Gary would have made a decision around here to go. But the decision made after the foot plant, the tip comes back way too fast. This is scary. And Kenan, like, here he hasn't done it too much, but, like, he's so good. This is his thing. And he baits it with the body feint. Like, just beautiful hit. And you feel so silly for falling for it. Alright, he gets his tip check just in case. But I think it's just a copium angle. We're just coping. Ooh. So there, Gary, he's kind of afraid. He's like, I can't attack. He's not feeling his attack. And all of a sudden, that confidence kind of dwindled for just a split moment. Right, he's looking for this. He's afraid of the counter. And then all of a sudden, we're pairing for nothing. We pair it, right? Kenan just moves it out of the way. That's the cutover. This is a classical coupe, right? We go up, whatever parry, and then we choose our moment. So twice. Two brain farts, in my opinion. Or like two moments where we lack decision making. And now we're down 2 points on an Olympic champion. Woohoo. So this is something, right? Good double. But look at this. Kenan pumps. Pump. There's a parry. And look how close, like, yeah, he misplaces a little bit. But look how close. Like, Kenan knows where he wants to place. He knows that he doesn't have to overchase. Just places it. We reset. Then the moment's done, but this is a double. French grips. We love that. Oops. Oh. So now, fury of information. Gary North might be thinking there's 5 seconds left. Let's go to the break, take our time. Kenan, not to be trifled with, just absolutely overloads him with information. Goes for the toe. Gets it. And now we feel so silly. Good chance to go to the next period. So, like, right there, right? That's tough. You're now tasked with getting 3 singles on Kenan. Oh boy. Ooh. And now we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. We're like, do I want to counter? Kenan really found... And like, at the beginning, right? We got completely flagpoled. And now all of a sudden, we've kind of mental boomed our opponent into making really big choices. But look how late the reaction is, right? So we go for the flesh super late. At this point, unless the decision has been made to extend into it, we're kind of done. And a fantastic finish. So I hope you'll have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thank you to all my followers who are still watching and my Patreon supporters. Much love. Have a good day.